We've got a treat today, but my bright idea is looking pretty dull. Got a wee party of cows following me this morning. Morning, Holly. What a beast. Big breakdown. It's the drill working there. Right, I'm going to need to get this banger out pretty soon. There's a big pile of geese on the wheat. They've just landed there now. All the new cows are in the pen. I'll show you them just when I get a chance. I actually wasn't here when they came back to the farm, so that's why you've not seen them come off the float. Because we had 18, we just got them taken back by a haulier rather than ourselves. So that worked out fine, got them back pretty swiftly, and they seem to be settled in. Pretty happy. There they go. There's loads more over there, see them? Bandits. Send them away to the neighbours, and then the neighbour will scare them back. Wheat's looking well. It's absolutely soaking wet, but the majority of it seems to be alright, and it's coming through and it's greened up. So there's a bit over that side which was the wettest, which is taking a wee bit longer. Hopefully it is through, just a bit slower and a bit more sluggish. Here we are. A few more cows in there. Chuffed with them so far. It's a wee bit skitey over here. There's not straw on the ground, so where the centre patches used to be, it's really smooth concrete. So it's a wee bit slippy until this builds up a wee fraction. So just watch them not skiting about too much on here. That single one over there with I got her foot stuck in the feeder. It's improving, still quite swollen. Might give her another round of anti-inflammatory and give it another spray just to keep she's very dry and clean in there though, so that helps. She's up, she's standing, moving about, so should be fine. Most of them, so the ones we got, all need a bit of condition added onto them, but also the ones we had already out in the grass, they lost a bit of condition. So they're all kind of at a similar level, so it's okay just to bring them all up at once over the next few months, bring up their condition a wee bit, just so they've got a bit of strength come calving time. Don't want to overdo their condition, otherwise you get really big calves, and they're also, the cows, there's not much space to squeeze the calf out if they're quite well built and broad. So there's a fine kind of balance. We'll bring them up a bit from where they are. Not too much to go though. Coos wiring in. Need to have a look for some troughs for here, because I've not got troughs for this bit. I'll need to get some pretty swiftly. Kev's going to be out hedge cutting. All the gates and whatnot that got taken out where the new gates went in, they can all be taken out of this shed, just put somewhere. Could do with a bit of a red up in here because there's kind of no space to do anything else. So we'll get everything here sorted out, and there's a bruiser coming this week to bruise some barley to make up feed for the cattle. These are the gates that used to be in the pen, but now we've got feeder gates. So you can see we've got quite a lot of gates, because that shed used to all be set up for cattle, a central passage, and it would make up 6 pens in altogether. So all these gates were used to make up all the pens, but we ripped it all apart because we didn't have any cattle. Now look at us, we've got a pile of gates, no centre passage, and a pile of cows. Box of spuds up there. And then that wee lever, wee pivot point at the bottom, chuck the box in there. That's it. 99% went in the hopper. I've now got 2 feeders run, 2, so that's pretty handy. 2 at the same time, although there's double the amount of coos. Well, there is a 3rd ring feeder over there, but it's only available to 1 cow at the moment.
Question of the day in the scrap metal pile. What's this? Also, there's my old flask that I ran over. Flatbed's on, I'm just heading along the road to yard number 2. So I'm picking up the man cage so we can tie off the tarpaulin on the grain dryer when we get that up. Okay John, just need to strap that down, then back to yard number 1. It's not been emptied in a few days. Right, just nicked battery out of a car to run the banger with. From one banger to another banger. Right, we've just unravelled the tarp on top of the dryer, and long story short, I've not thought it through. And I don't think it's going to work. Anyway, there's more egg boxes to go into here. So I'm just taking them off and having a think about the tarp, because it's absolutely massive. So I was thinking to go over all of it, but the top of the elevator's not kind of needing it. And it's too far to go up there because the wind will catch it a lot. And then if we just cover the top of the dryer, if you go over the rails, the whole thing will pool with water. I don't know. I didn't think it through. Anyway, there's 4 of these just coming off, but my bright idea is looking pretty dull. It's coming the quick way down. I'm currently in the field of oilseed rape, which is too thick. Quite a lot of kind of yellowing through it because it's too thick. The plants are kind of all fighting to get the sunlight, and it means quite a lot is yellowing up and losing the greenness to it. You can see it there, it's not green. Like if you look at the tram lines where it's a bit thinner, much more green. And here it's quite yellow. I'll be alright, it'll just end up, plants will get quite tall, less spread out, less yield per plant. As they get tall they can fall over too. Kev's away up there, you see him cutting hedges? Just doing the insides of these fields now, he's done all the outsides. We've got a treat today, courtesy of Farmstream. Farmstream all weather, 4G, Wi-Fi, 30x zoom, 80x night vision camera. I've already had it open, that's why the box is all unsealed and stuff. A couple of freebies as well, thank you very much. So, Farmstream is actually a friend of mine's company, set it up, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 months ago, and it's been doing really well. They sell cameras for farmers basically, so it's either for security, for lambing, for calving, for whatever reason you could use a camera for. He sent me one. I kind of badgered him to send me one, and he sent me one. So thank you very much, Eddie, good lad. I'm going to try and avoid being biased at all. I'm going to take it as it is, test it for myself and find out. But the way they've been doing and how well they've been going with the company, I think it's going to be really good. So I'm going to unbox all today and this evening, and then tomorrow morning I think I'm going to get into the shed, set it all up and get it running. So this is it. Pretty excited to use it, to be honest. So this is the box you get. It comes a lot neater, but I've unpacked it already. Farmstream. So I can scan that to find out how to set it all up. You've got all the wiring, all the cables. All it needs is a plug, because this is a SIM card version. So you can get a Wi-Fi version or a SIM card version. So this is a SIM card one. You chuck a SIM card into it, and it runs off of that, and I'll be able to get the image on my phone. So that's what the SIM card's for, or you can do it via Wi-Fi and set Wi-Fi up on your farm and you don't need a SIM card. It just depends how you want to do it. If you have quite a few cameras, I think it's beneficial to then go to Wi-Fi rather than a SIM card. SD card, this should then save some of the footage, so it'll probably save like a few days, and like the furthest away bit gets deleted as the new footage carries on. Either that, or you'll just pick a bit that you want to record. I need to find out properly how it works, but here you go. Here's the actual camera unit. It's pretty beefy, you know. It's pretty chunky, heavy duty. I always see that in tools specifically. good bit of weight behind it, just screams quality to me. This is all metal casing, quite easily could just be plastic around there and not last so long, but it seems like a kind of anodized aluminium or something like that. Farm Stream, there's a logo, and that's the actual camera unit. So bracket, that's for mounting, sits like that. If you hang it on like the side of a building or a pillar or whatever. Again, another good beefy piece of metal here, not plastic or anything like that. It's about a 5mm wall, it's aluminium, so it's not heavy, but it's thick walled. Last a while, that. Anyway, that's what it is unboxing. From what I've read so far or figured out about it, seems to be something that's going to suit us very well. And I'm going to try it out tomorrow and give you some feedback. But I won't get proper good feedback until calving time, when I'm using it all the time and you really get to know it. But hopefully this will be top notch. Anyway, I'm going to wire into the instructions just tonight. I'm going to have a read over that, figure out all about it, all what you can do with it, how to set it all up, but it seems very simple. And then tomorrow we'll get all that done, test the footage, see what it looks like. I want to see what it's like in the dark with the night vision, see how good that actually is. That's what I'm really interested in. Also, big thanks Farm Stream for sending it. I'll put a link down below to the website so you can go have a look for yourself. Go through the website, see what they've got other products as well. Yeah, I mean, if it's something that might suit your farm, then look out for how I review it, how it looks, and if it's something that you think might suit yourself, then go for it.